Da-da-da. Oh, wow, wee. Woo, 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 woo. Hi. Well, once again, we continue in our series of something for nothing trees, and this is a Chinese juniper that I scrounged off one of my friends, my dear friend, um, the guy who helps me with my pottery, because it's such a rubbish tree. And I told him so. I said, "You don't want that. Let me have it. I'll make a video out of it." I don't think he was too happy about that, but God only knows what I'm going to do with this. I think I might have. Yeah, I just saw this wispy thing, and you know how I love literati style. Well, this lends itself for that. Whether we keep it at this angle, I think probably it'll need to go up something like that, and I'm going to have to find something to prop it up with. Okay, so bear with for just a sec. Bean bags, quite handy these are. So if I put that up like that, I could stick that over there and that over there. Okay, and that's brought it up to a reasonable sort of height. Well, as usual, what I need to do is first of all check out for anything that's dead and get shot of it. Okay, so this sort of thing, all this kind of stuff, because it all becomes very distracting. You know, you think, oh, I'll use that branch, and then all of a sudden realize, in fact, it's dead. So we're cutting all this stuff out. And then that gives you a far better idea of what's left that can be worked with. Right, I think that's more or less it. A little bit here and a bigger one here. Now, as usual, what am I going to do with this? I think, first of all, I've got to decide, is this angle enough or do I need to raise it even more? Well, hang on, once again, I'm just going to get two other tools. That one. So if I put these under, one there, one there. Nope, don't like that. That's better. That's more like it. Now, first of all, as per usual, we get rid of anything that I know that I definitely am not going to require. And I'm not sure what that's going to be. So I think this branch here is something I won't be using, and probably this one down here. So I'll get rid of these. When you prune these branches, rather than prune it right in close, it's always best to take it a little bit out to allow that to die back. Then when it dies back, after several months, you can remove the dead bit. If I was to cut it right back in close, chances are it can go and rot in further and possibly introduce diseases. Here you are, you see that's been pruned earlier. You can see how that's died back to there. Now I can take that back to no problem. And that's not very good. Well, ta-da! Just take that little knob out. There we go. Okay. Now, we said we didn't need this one, so we'll do the same here. Cut it slightly proud. So what are we left with? We've got this. This is quite nice. You see how these branches all divide up well. I can do something with all of these, and I have to do something with that, and possibly that. So I'm not going to keep this one. I will probably also get rid of this. What we're going to end up with is a very linear, lyrical sort of tree, which is, with literati, very, very difficult to design as such and be specific about in the first instance. What normally happens, at least with me, is I'll have the material, I'll decide what I don't want, and as you can see, we've already done that and got rid of it, and then probably do a cursory wiring in the first instance of major trunks and branches. So I'll wire the trunk up, and then I'll wire these primaries, and then it's a question really of feeling the tree into shape. I've got a slight sort of feeling about how I'm going to do this, but again, you've got to be very careful. If I bend this too severely, you can often find the tree might well split away there. Okay, so you have to be darn careful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire this branch and that one together. So I'll take the wire there and onto that. Then I'll probably take another wire from here onto there, onto that one, and then another one from this one up and onto this one. Okay, I don't think this bit needs wiring. If it does, I'll have to do that later. And I haven't said anything about this one, which, as far as I'm concerned, is a distraction. So I'm going to get rid of it. Okay. Right. Nice plastic pot. Okay, so let's get some wire. Right, I've got my wire here. Hang on, let's put it on this other side. Put it on this side so it doesn't get in the way of the tree. And I won't do all of the wiring now because that's always a little bit boring to watch. What I will do is feel this will give you an idea of what gauge of wire. So I'm going to use a 3 for that, and I might double up. All right, so get a nice good length of wire. Okay, so now this piece is going to go primarily up to about here. I won't bother with these other bits just yet, they'll be done subsequently. So I have that done. I'm holding it, supporting it with my hand. That'll come round there and into there. Oh, golly. This one will come, whoa. I'll tell you what, guys, the arthritis in my hands isn't helping one teeny little bit. All right, let's get that in there, get that anchored. Once that's anchored, I can then get this one around here. Okay, I'm going to take this off. I don't need these now. All right. Whoa. Right, so got that in, locked in well. I'm using a fairly heavy gauge wire for this because I really do want to get it to hold exactly where I position it, and without having to add secondary or 2 or 3 wires. So just take that around there and around there, and that's probably good enough. I'm going to cut that. There. Okay. Whew, it's hot. My golly, it's getting really hot. Unfortunately, because of the traffic that we have out on the main road, I can't open the doors to get a little bit more ventilation. So I'm just going to have to sit here and suffer, which is annoying because it really is uncomfortably hot. So this can come around here, put it around there. This is aluminium wire, and I think it's probably one of the cheaper types because it's very, very stiff. Okay, it hasn't got the usual softness of the aluminium wire. A lot of folk prefer to use copper wire. One of the drawbacks of copper wire is it can get very, very hot in the summer, and as a result the trees can get badly scorched. Okay, so we'll cut that there. Right, so that's those two done. I'm going to now put another wire from here and up along there. Is that right? I think. Okay. Is that long enough? No. I think we can go down one size. And I'm going to put this on here. Like so. We'll take that up there and around there. Get that well anchored. And I will take this around here, around there. Notice how when wiring, I'm using my left hand. Well, I still can. These fingers have more or less had it with arthritis. To support the wire and the branch I'm wiring at the same time. And as always, I tend to have my wire pointing upwards at the end. Right. Now, come on. Whoa. This one goes up here and up here into that one there and there and there, and away we go. Ho, 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 ho. I'll put this on there. It's a bit heavy. Never mind. Yeah, I'll leave that like that. It's too heavy. Just cut that off there. Okay. So now I've just got this one to do, and yeah, okay. Right. Let's get some more of that wire. Come on. So, I've got to be careful. If I get this wire crossing, I'll get no end of stick from my colleagues. So that's got to go under and under. All right, so if I put that down there and take that down there and around and under there and around. It's amazing how people will always find faults, and it's such a negative thing to do, really, because we know the faults. You know, look for the things that are good. Find the bits of wiring that are okay, that succeed well. Never mind the bits that haven't. Right, that'll do. I'll cut that off there. Right. So now I'm going to try and do an initial bending, and basically what happens is you sort of feel the tree into position. So once again, I'll have to prop this up as I want it. I did something like that, didn't I? Something like that. I'm going to put those things sort of falling. Right, I hope that's going to be all right. Now, people often ask this absurd question, where's the front of the tree? Simple. Establish where the back is, the front's on the other side. End of. Okay? Right. So we've got a nice curve here as the trunk comes out. Incidentally, with this being in this better angle, I think the root system will be better when it's repotted into a new pot. There's a slight curve there, but there's nothing here. That's very straight. So I'm going to give that a slight bend, and I hope this wire is going to be... It doesn't need much of a bend, just a little bit. Okay, that'll do. Now this one, I'm going to take down. I've got my thumb here underneath so that I don't go snapping the branch. I'm supporting it, holding the branch there very firmly and bringing this down around in that position and around slowly and slowly and slowly. Now I'm going to use my famous detail wiring technique for bending, which gives you far greater control. Far greater control. It's much easier to do this. Okay, right, and that'll do. That'll do. I'll just raise that a little bit. Okay. This one now, I can try to make into a kind of apex. Bring it round, and also bring it around and down. And see how I'm feeling this into position? There. This one we can take down and down, down, and around there. Right. And this one here, is redundant. So, don't need that. Don't need that. And I don't need that. Okay. So now this one can come around here. Around here. You see what I mean when I say I'm feeling the tree into position. It's not easy to preconceive and design something like this. These branches will then be sorted out, and I'll make better sense of this lot up here. Might have to take that up a bit more and that around. Something like that, probably. Yeah. Bring that around. And these things are right. Now, what I'm not going to do is spend a lot of time filming the wiring of all these smaller branches, okay? I'm going to do that now, and then we'll come back to it in a moment, okay? And then we'll talk about the sort of pot that'll go into. Right. So let's just turn this around. I'll take a still of this like this. What the heck's this doing? What am I going to do with this? Yeah, okay. Now I'm going to push this over the other side and take a shot of it like this before we do any further. I'll take a still of this before we do any further wiring. Then I'm going to wire. I hope that'll be okay. What this little tree needs now is quite a lot of TLC because it's looking rather sorry for itself, and I'm not surprised at that miserable pot that it was in. I'd classify myself as a just about wirer. Not good, not bad, just about okay. And the reason is I'm not that keen on wiring because it's boring. While I'm wiring, I find my head is working 10 to the dozen, and I'm thinking of other projects and other things creative that I can be doing either with my pots or garden or whatever else. But wiring is frustrating because you just got to stick with it over and over and over again, and oh, so fiddly. And sadly, it's a necessary evil if you want to have the control over the form of the tree. So, like it or lump it. I mean, the nice thing, of course, about literati is there's never actually that much wiring to do because the whole exercise is one of sort of very minimalistic statement. You know, as my good friend Mr. Narco used to say, less is more. Right, I'll just take a still shot of this, I think. Oh, a beetle here. Take a still of this. All right, now that it's wired, and I'll put it back to my workstation. And I'll see if I can carry on with the manipulations over here. Boom, boom. Let's get rid of some of this rubbish. Okay. That still needs a little bit of bending. You can see it's a bit on the straight side. You're looking at the tree, or the cameraman, I should say, is looking at the tree when he's filming mostly from the side, whereas I'm looking at it from what I deem to be the front. Okay, so I'm just going to get another tool, which gives me a wee bit more strength to see whether, you see this thing here? There. It's movable. Should be. There you are. Okay. So I'm going to see whether I can bend this a little bit more. snap. Hasn't made much difference. Okay, so let's continue. So we'll start now with this bottom branch. I'll take it down there. Right, take that there. If that's up there, that's up there. And then get my little small dinky scissors. And this sort of stuff that is underneath, we don't want, okay? So bring that in a little bit closer, up a little bit. See? All right. And now I go to this next one here. And this one can be cut. There. I'm going to take that up there and around down there, and this will help fill in just down here. Oh, there's a branch here that I haven't wired. 2 branches here. Right, well, first of all, let's get rid of this, some of this stuff that's down. Now, when I cut, avoid cutting across, cut into it. Okay? I'm just going to take that green tip out. We don't need that. We don't need that. Lift this up. Take some of this downward pointing stuff out. Thin this out a bit. That's better. That's right. So that came around there. That was up there. That's right. Yeah. And this lot here, a little bit congested. It can come out. Right. Okay. You take that little grey tip out. Don't need that there. That's going a bit too far. Just okay. We don't need those 2 there. We don't need that there. We don't need that, or that, or that, or that. All of these things here put down. It's going to go. This one's here can go. It can go. This crossing one here. Don't need that. Long leggy things can go. It can go. This one hasn't been wired, so I'm going to take it off. By placing those there, get a nice little thing here. Take one of these ones down from underneath. Okay. My word, it's hot. Shot of that one. Okay, so you can have a look at what I've done with those 2. Okay. And now I'm going to do something with that one. Once again, supporting it all. I'll bring that round and bring it into this level here. And take that around there. Take that up a bit. and then down and around. Not very much flesh on that. I don't like anything that's going down. I will have to feed this quite a lot to try to get some vigor back into it, because it's pretty miserable at the moment. Okay, now this one here I'll bring around. Now the reason I'm bringing this around is to keep the movement and flow up. Okay, that one is taking it out a bit too much, so we'll take this up there and around there. All right, and we'll bring this one in and around a bit around there, out there. Bring some of these downward pointing ones. Show that. 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 So you see I'm bouncing this, and now I've got to do something meaningful with this. So I'm taking it over a bit, and I'm bringing it back. Then I'm going to take him right down. I'm using everything. So you see how I'm going to build up a little apex up there, or crown I should say. We don't need that back there, do we? Yeah. And here's the back. Oh, that's the front. So what we'll do is we'll get ourselves a little wire. I'm going to do something like that. Nothing special about this, just and I'll just oh, come on. Cut this, make this the same length, and then as my center of gravity, so here is our front. Okay. That's our front in there, looking straight up at the whole tree. Okay. And that should take about 2 to 3 years, bearing in mind that I'm going to have to repot it. I oh, it'll go to a small pot. Blimey, I thought I'd sent this pot off for somebody. It'll go to a small pot, something like this. I think we ought to put it back on the plain background now. Yeah, this pot is a bit deep, but it'd be something on these lines, something this colour. Okay, but I've got one dot like that, means it's accounted for. This pot's got to go to somebody, I think, in America, I think. Yeah. Okay, I thought I'd already sent it. Oh dear. He's going to be upset having to wait all this time. Okay, so I'll take a still of that now. And basically, that's more or less it. Hang on. Right. I could see why when I had it up there, it looked rubbish because I was looking up at the tree. In actual fact, we're here. This is my eye level, and it's looking better for it. From down here, it does look like rubbish. Okay, so we said that this is our front. All right, you should be standing up slightly, and I will put it in a shallow pot. It's probably still safe to do that as long as I don't put. Well, actually, what I'll do, I won't put it in the shallow pot straight away because I've done so much to the poor little thing. I will I'll take it out of this pot, but plant it into another larger pot in this orientation. So at least we've got the angle right for when we repot it next year into a pot which I'll make especially for this tree. But I think it's worked out reasonably well. Again, something for nothing. So hope you've enjoyed it, and do me a favor and do the usual thing. Press the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And we'll all be buddies for life, okay? Bye.